Hey crafty cuties, welcome back to Paper Terrace. If you're new, I'm Jessica. Today we are doing a review. I have had so many questions on the handheld sewing machines. This was the one that I found, and I think it's one of the more popular ones. And I know that I did a review on one of these long ago when I first started my channel. I must have taken it off, or maybe it's hidden in there somewhere. I know I didn't like it at the time, but I'm a little bit more experienced with sewing, so I thought we would go ahead. Let's get it open. We'll do a first impression and I'll do some demos. And I mean, this would be really cool if this did work well, because I know a lot of people want to do sewing for journaling and different crafts, but buying an actual sewing machine doesn't always fit in everyone's budget, and it also takes up a lot of space. So let's go ahead and we'll just see how easy this is going to be. I'm gonna flip the camera around in a few minutes so that we can get a better view when I am sewing with it, hopefully. I will have a link down below. I got this from Amazon. They sell them at many different places though, so feel free. I think they sell them maybe at Joann's and probably even like Walmart or something like that. So it looks like it has a piece in here already with some thread. Heck, I wonder, it probably doesn't have batteries, so I'm gonna guess that we need to add some batteries. So let's try to open this up real quick here. I just put lotion on my hands, so that was a bad idea.
Are hard to vintage, talking about these two, and take her I think all your threads in here. Most of them, it's on the bottom, and you have to read the inside casing as to how the AA batteries go in there. Some of them also come with a DC adapter. They will come with a spool pin, which if you use a spool of thread instead of the bobbin, you want to make sure there's spring underneath the bobbin. You want to make sure you don't lose that spring because it has to go.
I will start off by saying that this took me almost 15 minutes to open. It was the hardest thing to open. It's probably just a me problem. It takes 4 AA batteries, and so I'm going to go ahead and place them in here. There is already some thread started, so we can just start with that, and then I will get started with a demo. Just a quick overview. This is the rotary wheel. This is where the bobbin goes. Now it does come with a thread finger. I'm not too familiar with the names here, but it does come with one of these if you want to use a bigger thread, like a normal size thread, and you just have to make sure that you keep the coil on there. But again, we're just going to go ahead with the bobbin right now, and it does come with 3 others with some extra needles, and it looks really easy to thread. It just goes up through the circle here around the since ours is already threaded. I'm not going to show how to thread the machine, but if it works well, I can do a video just on that. It looks like it just goes up here, then it goes around the tension, it goes down through this little coil right here, and then it goes from the back to the front of the needle. So we have a little tension guide here, and this right here will lift the needle. There we go. And we're just gonna go ahead with the little demo piece of fabric to turn it on a quick second before we try some brand new fabric. And you just turn it on right here with this little button. It just goes 1 speed. It doesn't have any different stitches or stitch lengths. So let's get started. Oh, and then you gotta turn it off. Okay, I mean, that was pretty easy. Now, we gotta remember there's no bobbin thread, it's just 1 single stitch, but okay, that was easier than I remembered. But of course, let's start with a fresh piece of fabric. Okay, so to get started with a brand new piece of fabric, you are going to just lift this piece right here. It just lifts right up, and then you can slip your fabric underneath there. Of course, you'll need to make sure that your needle is in the upright position, so you're going to just twist this until it is up. So I know you can't see close up right here, but I'm just gonna get started by placing this down. Need my needle to be up a little bit more. No, never mind. Okay, so I'm gonna try that again. It's a little difficult because it's all like with just your hand here. Okay, I'm gonna place it just like this, kind of in front of me, sitting down. I think this is gonna be the best way to go about it. And then it is going to go to my right, I believe. Nope, sorry. It's gonna go to the left. So I'll need to actually just go ahead and place this up again. Okay, so you gotta remember this is a first impression for me as well. So this is what you can expect if you were a beginner as well. Okay, so we have all of my fabric on my right hand side, and it's going to go through to my left hand side when I have the machine this way. So you can see I have it kind of just sitting here in front of me, and then I'm gonna guide the fabric through once I press this button on. Okay, I'm kind of impressed. Let me show you what we're working with. Okay, so let's go ahead, and you just need to cut this off right here. That is not too bad. You can see that it is a little bit kind of like wrinkly. I think that it kind of pulled on the fabric, I guess, if that makes sense. And so next time, I'll try again in just a second at this view. I might need to pull the fabric through a bit faster, because in order to get a stitch length, if you want the stitch length to be a little bit longer or shorter, you can pull it through a little bit faster. That's what the directions said. And keep in mind, no bobbin thread, but somehow Somehow it must loop through or something. So this is the back. So I hope you can see that. It must loop through or something like that. It feels pretty secure. I definitely wouldn't use this for like sewing clothes or something, but for like little sewing projects and journals maybe. I kind of want to try it on paper because I think a lot of you would use this for paper. I'm gonna try one more time. And so we're gonna lift our needle up. And remember too, there is a tension setting, so I may also need to mess with that. And so I'm gonna place it over here on this side, all the way down. So let's try one more long stitch with this. Oh, see, there's definitely a bit of a learning curve. Okay, sorry, it has to go this way. Okay. And then let's go ahead and I will press it on and try to give you the best view I can. Okay, it is pretty loud. I would not do this if like my kid was napping. Okay, I'm gonna pull it through a little bit faster this time. Oh, something's not working. Okay, let's see what's going on here. It's still thread, so I'm not sure what's happening here, but I don't think that was going through. Nope. Okay, so I was gonna say, I'm gonna be very surprised if there's no issues. I am a little bit more experienced with sewing than I was when I got this years ago, so that could have something to do with it, but also we're gonna try one more time. I think you need to make sure that your thread is kind of off to the left side here. Or actually, maybe that would be the right. Okay, we're gonna try again here. Uh-oh. Okay. This is probably gonna be a little bit more realistic. I think I got real lucky on that first time of having like no issues. Although it does sew, but you could see. Now I'm at a very weird angle filming. My arms are wrapped around the tripod. So this is a little bit harder than when you were across from me a moment ago. But you can see I went off the fabric here. It is a little bit hard to pull that through exactly straight. I'm gonna try one more time without my arms wrapped around, so I might be blocking the camera just a little bit, but I really wanna have a good idea of what this is like before giving you my final thoughts, and I will try some paper in just a moment as well. So I think a minute ago when it wasn't working, that was because I had the thread kind of mixed up into the fabric, or it was like, I don't know, it was not catching. Okay, I'm gonna try this again. Okay. I know some of this is boring, but I want to give you an honest idea. Oh, see, I think I'm starting it at the wrong side. That's why. So if you're wanting to get some sewing done, like in the middle of a larger piece of fabric, it's going to be a little tricky. But for the edge, it's not too bad. Trying to catch, there we go. Okay. Now I do keep thinking that I need to hold the machine the whole time, which you really don't have to. It is stable enough to just sit on your desk. It's not like you're gonna be holding this in your hand while sewing, or if you are, I think that would be very tricky. So here is the second stitch. Hopefully you can see that. It's definitely hard to get it straight. I think I got lucky on my first stitch, which is still not super straight. But a lot of people that are using this for more like junk journal type things aren't too worried about super straight stitches. Let's try paper, because I just know that you guys would be using this for paper if you had it. So once again, I have to keep remembering to load it in from the right-hand side. I keep messing that up. Whoops. And don't push down on the needle. But you can twist this to get the needle up and then just lift up on the foot. Let's load our paper just like that. And let's see how well we can sew paper. I think the needle either came on thread or it's not liking the paper. We might also need to, we can try the tension, but I'm not sure, it doesn't give you like numbers, so you would just have to kind of play around with that. Nope, definitely not liking the paper. So let's see, it's still threads, so that's not the issue. And I do hope I was in frame. This is rather hard to film. I was feeling kind of hopeful for a minute. I mean, it would just be so cool if this worked. Okay, it's still thread, so let's try this again. Move our tension just a little bit. And let's try one more time. Okay, that worked a little better. So I had to adjust the tension, which seems vital. But you can see there's some missed stitches in there. It's not very good. Let's just say that. Well, I guess I have mixed feelings on this. I think if you are a more experienced sewer than me, although you probably would have a sewing machine then, I think that you might be able to get this to work on fabrics and maybe paper if you knew exactly how to. I could read a bit more on working with the tension, but I just don't know if it's, I don't know that it's going to be a good fit for most people who I think are wanting this are more like beginners. There's some beautiful birds outside my house. Yeah, I'm so surprised. Oh, and see, now I don't know if I messed up the tension because it started to sew and then it pulled out. And I think I remember from my very first time of using this that one of the big problems was that it kept pulling out. I think tightening is what I need to do. But who wants to spend this much time messing with it? I think this could be so frustrating. This is so much harder than my Project Runway Brother machine. No, see, it's pulling out again. And again, there could just be issues with the tension. It's still in the needle though. It keeps starting and then coming undone. And if you are someone who is really experienced, you might just know why that is. But again, for the target purchaser, which I think is going to be a beginner or someone who wants something that is quick, I don't think that this little machine is going to be it. I was so hopeful on that first few passes. I mean, it did really well on the first few passes, but it's not going to be so easy if you're trying to sew the edge of a book page or if you're trying to do, you know, anything other than just a basic stitch. I definitely think if you are someone who was really just wanting to get this to try it out on only fabric, and you're fine with a very basic stitch and you're fine with kind of working with the machine, because the first few times you can see this is the back, it did really well, and that does not feel like it's going to pull out at all. So I think there could be a bit of a learning curve with this too. And if you're someone who's willing to, you know, give it a try and you're pretty knowledgeable about tension and all of the setup that a sewing machine has, it might be worth it to give it a try, but I would definitely make sure you're purchasing from a place that you can return. I think that's what I will end up doing. I hope that this review was helpful, and if you guys have any more requests on something like this, or if you want to see a review on a certain product, please let me know. This is really fun and I enjoy doing this for you guys. So leave me a comment down below and I will talk to you in the next video. Bye.